Welcome to an Edmonds kind of 4th of July parade live stream in downtown Edmonds, sponsored by the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce and presented on My Edmonds News TV. I'm your host, Teresa Whipple, and I am here with Larry Vogel, my co-host.
Teresa.
Hi, Larry.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July to you.
What a great day, huh?
It is a beautiful day. It's about, 73 degrees under cloudy skies?
Give or take half a degree, somewhere around there, yeah.
And it is a beautiful spot, and we're so happy to be here. So we are also just about ready to see the Children's Parade coming along, and wanted to mention that this whole event was made possible by the Hazel Miller Foundation. We'll be talking with a representative of their organization soon. But meanwhile, take a look. Here is the Children's Parade that is sponsored by Windermere Real Estate, the Edmonds office, and there is the crew from Windermere waving to the crowd, and we have a huge crowd here today, don't we, Larry?
Oh gosh, it's I'm sure at least 1,000 people more.
Oh, I think they get several thousand at this parade. Of course, we're only seeing the downtown Edmonds part of the route. There are many, many different parts of town that have people lining the parade. Oh, and look, there's Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald on a Segway.
There is an icon for children, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
And you know, they get about 2,500 entries to this parade. It is a beautiful event with lots of different kids decorating the parade, and it is just a wonderful spot for
look at
kids.
The wagon with the window boxes here.
Isn't that
with
great?
tulips and
Main
daisies
Street
for sale.
Flowers.
That is
love
so
that.
cute.
It is adorable.
I love the kids parade, you know?
And this is a much more casual event. People can come the day of and register. Obviously, there are babes in arms, as we can see. Sometimes people get their floats decorated way ahead of time. Lots of bicycles with streamers, scooters, you name it, people do it.
No, this is just great. I just love seeing the children coming out and getting so excited about this. My kid, I remember him decorating his bike for days before this event.
Right. It is such a popular one. This is great. It's great. And so, you know, we are going to be seeing quite a few entries here on the Children's Parade, and once that's done, of course, we'll have a little bit of a wait before the main parade starts, which will be quite a spectacle. But for now, I hope everybody is enjoying. Oh, look, we've got an Edmonds in bloom. It looks like float with flowers. Of course, Edmonds is known for its flowers, Larry, as you well know.
Indeed I do, yeah.
You guys doing the announcing? Oh, well, he has a...
Well, just to walk around town and you see all of the flower baskets hanging on the poles and the corner gardens that are maintained by the Edmonds Parks Department.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the
look
Floridum
at
Garden
this.
Club.
I don't know if we got a shot of that. It just went past the bubbles, someone in the bathtub. But look at that Edmonds in Bloom float. Edmonds in Bloom is an annual competition.
Children are blooming. Look at
yes,
them.
they
They're
are.
wonderful.
I would imagine that Edmonds in Bloom will probably have a float in the main parade too. That is a big deal in Edmonds. It's coming up in July. They judge different gardens in town, give out awards, and they actually have a tour where people can see what's going on with the different gardens. So we've got more bikes, more balloons. My gosh. No shortage of red, white, and blue today, Larry.
Boy, no kidding. On us too.
On us too, yes. We were
Thank you for the bow tie.
You're welcome. That's an Edmonds bought bow tie, by the way. I just want to point that we shop local here at My Edmonds News TV.
And I'm proud to wear it.
Yeah. A few dogs too, I'm noticing. A few decorated dogs coming along. My gosh. Incredible look of people here. And you know,
look at the little guy here with the mustache.
Oh, look at that. That's great. That's great. The helmet with the decorations on it. Yeah. And you know, we are, the Chamber sponsors this whole day long celebration with the exception of the firefighters competition. We'll talk about that later where they do the water ball race. Or they do a lot of other things all day long. The fireworks tonight, of course, we're all looking forward to the beautiful fireworks. It is an amazing day in Edmonds. It's probably the most popular festival of the year.
I would have to say that. I would agree.
I mean, the tree lighting might come in a close second at the holidays, but I would say 4th of July is what Edmonds is known for.
Taste of Edmonds draws a lot of
folks
from out of town.
That's true. I forgot about that.
This is more of a hometown
this is really,
event.
Hometown event. Yes, indeed, it really is.
I love the hometown atmosphere in Edmonds, and I think this parade epitomizes that.
Yep. And we have people throwing candy at us, although I believe that's technically not allowed, but you know.
Throw candy. Throw candy. Here I am. Hit me.
All right. They can
chocolate. Make it chocolate,
we
please.
have determined it's okay to throw candy at Larry, so thank you for that. And you know, as we keep going along with all of this, I can't believe how many kids we see coming down the street. There are so many with their parents, all kinds of festive, more flags. My gosh.
I think it attests to one of the wonderful things about Edmonds. We are a multi-generational community.
Yes, we really are.
We have lots of kids, we have people in their middle-aged years, and we have lots of older people, and it is just a wonderful, diverse community to live in.
It really is, and I think, you know, people make jokes about, dare I say, Deadmans. I guess that's okay to say on a Chamber of Commerce sponsored event. But, you know, the truth is that, and they say that because there's nothing happening here, but it is a very family-friendly community. There is a lot happening here, as we can see by this beautiful parade. And, you know, there is so much going on with all the shops in town, lots of new restaurants that are opening up, lots of nightlife, which didn't used to happen.
Indeed,
In fact, I have children who are in their 20s now, and they tell me they're shocked by how late the restaurants are open now, and that didn't used to happen. So we're really seeing a very exciting...
And even some of them close down after dark.
Yes, and sometimes even at 2 in the morning, Larry.
Whoa!
Long after we've gone to bed.
I don't see any of those.
Yeah. So...
No, there's the sense of community here is really wonderful.
And you know, we are getting candy thrown on our table like you would not believe. This is like Halloween. Here
comes the sugar high.
I'm telling you. And yes, I just can't imagine that there's a better place to live than Edmonds. I mean, we have to say that you and I have both been longtime residents. It is a great spot.
Indeed it is.
And just for those of you who are tuning in for the Children's Parade, if you're watching it live, know that this is also going to be archived. So if you have kids or grandkids that they want to come back and watch it later, it will be available on myedmondsnewstv.com. That's the website that you're watching this on. And we are saving it and archiving it so people come back and watch it later. Oh, we've got somebody on roller skates throwing candy.
That's
oh
great.
My
Here
gosh.
comes more candy.
Yeah.
That's
Jeez.
Great. Hit us with candy.
This is something else, I'm telling you. Very, very nice stuff. And, you know, the glitter, I'm imagining that the glitter factories were working overtime for some of the costumes that we're seeing here. Just incredible amount of shiny stuff. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at the old antique pedal fire truck.
Oh, right.
Wow.
That is an old one. I'm hoping the cameras are getting all these wonderful things. You know, as you and I know, we've got a lot of fire history in Edmonds, too. There is an antique fire truck that is part of the Fire District 1 folks here. And you and I are both on the board of the Edmonds Historical Museum. And, in fact, one of the reasons why you're so valuable on this broadcast is because you're a history buff. And
Thank you, yes.
And there is a lot of history we're going to be talking about with Edmonds. This parade has been going on for how many, not the children's parade per se, but the main parade has been going on for how many years?
The main parade has been going on since at least 1903. I've got a picture from 1903, and I think it went before that.
That's incredible. That's a
lot
of history.
We don't have a definite documented date for when it started, but it's been here for quite a while.
So that's a long time. Yes, indeed. That's a lot of tradition, and I don't know about you, but when you talk about the 4th of July, it is all about tradition. And we have doing the announcing that probably is being picked up a bit on the broadcast is Mike Denton, who is doing the actual sideline announcing for the people who are in the parade, and he has been doing this forever. He's a great guy, lived in Edmonds a long time, and everybody loves Mike. It looks like Mike is getting hit up with his own bunch of candy as well, so we'll have to see what we can...
All the parents and kids.
I know.
It's just a wonderful scene here today.
It is wonderful.
And, you know, the weather is perfect. I love this high cloud cover.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get too warm. It's just an ideal day for a parade.
It is not too hot, which we've had past parades where it's been in the 80s and everybody has been sweating and not feeling all that well. This is a great temperature for a 4th of July parade. Oh, we've got some bubbles going on.
I see bubbles coming down.
Oh,
yeah.
Lots
here
of
comes
bubbles.
a bubble right over our
there's
table.
A bubble. Yep, yay for the bubbles. Yeah, this is indeed all for kids. And look at all the kids. They keep coming. My goodness. I don't have an exact count yet of how many entries we're supposed to get that, but we definitely will let you know when we hear how many kids. They generally get an average about 2,500 entries, and I'm saying there's at least that many. Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, it just seems like the kids' parade is never ending.
Never
they just
ending.
keep coming.
Never ending. And you can imagine that, it's just such a wonderful experience for these kids. I grew up in Ellensburg, which is across the mountains, and we had a rodeo parade, and the kids' parade was a big deal then, too.
Well, many years ago, my son, when he was about 4 years old, decided that he was going to learn how to ride a two-wheeler and be in this parade.
Yes.
And I took him over to Maplewood School the day before the parade on July 3rd and worked with him for a couple hours. He learned how to ride, and doggone if he didn't ride his two-wheeler in the 4th of July parade that year.
What a wonderful motivation that was for him. Now, do you see this guy in the kilt? I don't know if we got the guy in the kilt, but I dare say I don't think that I have ever seen a kilt at a 4th of July parade before. But there it is.
Oh, wait, now, last year I did see the men in kilts window washers.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I wonder if they'll be
back
back this
take
year.
that back. We'll see it when the main parade comes up. And we have got so many bike helmets with flags on. The creativity of some of these decorations are really quite amazing. We've got the 4th of July sunglasses there. We've got looks like a Power Rangers outfit with 4th of July. My gosh, it is just never ending.
I noticed the Power Rangers outfit. I was going to say Ninja Turtle because it was green, but I guess it's a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, isn't it?
I remember those days. I watched those shows.
I'm trying to forget them.
And they're still showing them. That's the amazing part. And there is more of the kids coming along here. We have got flowers, flags everywhere. Oh my goodness. Oh, more candy. I'm going to have to start ducking. Maybe I should have worn a hat. I'm afraid I'm going to get hit one of these days. Flying candy. Boy, look at that. And we have a
updated list.
more bubbles. So this person has a bubble machine. That's incredible.
Coming out of the,
incredible.
Yes, out of the wagon.
And we have, look at this. The thing is about these strollers, I'm telling you, the strollers these days, when I had my kids, they were just like the usual umbrella strollers. These things look like they came out of a car dealership, some of these strollers.
These are high-tech strollers.
They are so high-tech. Incredible.
I ran with my daughter in a St. Patrick's Day Dash many years ago in an old-style stroller with the little tiny 5-inch wheels.
Oh, my gosh.
I wish I had one of these high-tech models.
Yeah. Well,
Look at this.
And the jogging strollers are incredible, just that you can go forever with these things and not even feel a bump. The kids are riding in style. So
they probably cost as much as a car, too.
I think you're right about that. Oh, look at this. We've got the dog on top of the stroller. Is that a Chihuahua? What is that dog? It's kind of a hairless something or other.
That is quite a dog. What a sweet animal.
Yeah, really sweet. Looks very, very... Oh, it's a mix of some kind. I would say that's a Chihuahua.
I like the pink nose. Look at the pink nose and the bandana.
Yeah, I think that dog was created from a couple of very interesting breeds. I'm just going to say that much. And, I still don't see an end in sight to these kids, Larry. I am just blown away by the number of entries here. Incredible. And
this guy with the 3 balloons, red, white, and blue balloons on the helmet. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
Very nice.
Love that. Love the balloons on the helmet. Oh, and they've got the parade wave going on.
Yeah,
excellent
great parade wave.
Oh.
With the streamers.
Yes, that's great. Oh, and we got more candy. Thank you for the candy, everybody.
No, we'll take candy. All the candy you want to give us.
I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I can handle all that sugar, but we'll see what happens. And we have so many. Oh, there's some Cub Scouts, looks like. Boy Scout troop, Cub Scout. That's Cub Scouts, right, at that age, probably? Oh, and
hey, we're getting an extra flag. Look at this.
Oh, thank you. Thanks you very much. Thank you. We've got more. And there's a dog. Oh, my gosh. My favorite breed right there, yellow lab with the...
oh, yeah.
That's
what
nice
a sweet
dog.
Animal.
What a beautiful dog. Yeah. And we have more flags. Or a skateboard. Boy, I don't know if I could ride a skateboard down a parade route. That's incredible.
I don't think I would want to ride a skateboard anywhere.
Oh, and look, there's Tim Morris from Ipulo. Right there. You know, if you go to myedmondsnewstv.com, you will actually see an interview with Tim Morris. You saw him go by there in the Ipulo t-shirt. We actually did an Edmonds Happy Hour segment with Tim.
Klahia team.
Oh, yay, Klahia. All the swimmers. Now, Klahia, for those who have not been, it is a very nice swim and tennis club, private club over there in southwest Edmonds. Very popular spot for...
Right across the street from the Faith Lutheran Church.
That's right, and it is a lovely spot, beautiful outdoor pool. They also have tennis courts there. It's a great spot for families if somebody, it's a membership club, of course, but if you want to check it out, I know a lot of people who have belonged to Klahia for years, and they love it there.
Wait, no, that's Faith Community Church, not Lutheran. That's
oh, Faith Community, right, across the street, yeah,
yes.
Right, that's right. And let's see here what we've got. We've got more balloons, more scooters. Oh, look at this Spider-Man outfit. Spider-Man.
Like with the muscles. He's ripped. Look at that
ripped.
guy.
Oh, look at this kid. With the mask. Oh, he's great. He is great. With a sucker. Can't go anywhere without the lollipop, right? Perfect. And there's, oh, more glasses. I'm telling you, where did they get those sunglasses? Those are incredible. And more parade waves. Everybody is practicing. I swear these people will all be on floats when they're grown-ups doing their parade waves. They are great. More dogs. Oh, look at this little girl with the USA hat. She looks like a kind of miniature Statue of Liberty in there. Is she cute? Oh, my gosh. Oh, here. Check out the guy with the fluffy hat. Now, what is that all about? Do you think that's like a, what is that made out of?
That would look to me
kind of netting thing?
Yeah, I would think.
I'm sure there is a story behind that hat. We don't have the ability to be able to go over and ask him, but that's something else.
We could imagine, we could make something up.
We could predict, yeah. Yeah, but I think we'll just leave it. I think that's what I'm going to do. And we've got more. Oh, look at that. I like the little hats on the bandanas. Those are really nice. I think we're almost at the end, Larry.
It looks like we're heading down to the end of the children's parade.
We're actually almost at the end of the children's parade. Oh, it sounds like Mike Denton just told us that one of the parade entrants is actually having a birthday today. That's nice.
Wonderful to have your birthday on the 4th of July. Didn't Bruce Springsteen have a song, Born on the 4th of July?
I think he did. Yes, he did. Yeah.
Well,
and my gosh, and there's a girl who's just got a whole big Costco bag of candy. She's just throwing that out there. I'm telling you. For her. Oh, here comes some more. Very nice. Red, white, and boom. Oh, isn't that a creative little saying there? Very nice.
Well, there we go. I think the last of the children's parade is passing us by.
Is that the end of it? Looks like we have a few more stragglers, but maybe they're not official. I don't know. I guess I'll wait for the official parade announcer to tell us because... Oh, Mike says we've run out of children, so it looks like we are at the end of our children's parade. So now, Larry, we've got some time to talk about some other things related to the main parade, which will be starting out at noon. It won't get to us by noon, of course.
Well, yeah, it starts out up around the block.
Right, over by the Holy Rosary Church-ish, down in that.
Yeah, kind of down in that end of Edmonds.
And then it winds down, I think it's 6th Avenue, and then heads down Walnut Street, and then turns back this way. We're in front of Old Milltown. We didn't identify where we are, but right in front of Old Milltown, which is at 5th.
So our first glimpse will be as the parade turns the corner.
Right, and comes down this way, yep. So we will see them, but it'll probably take a good 10 or 15 minutes before they get here. And, so for now, we've got some good history and things to tell you about with the parade. And, Larry, again, let's remind folks that if you have not been to My Edmonds News TV before, this is where we're live streaming from. This is a relatively new website, just started by the founder of My Edmonds News. That happens to be me. Imagine that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And we started this site basically because we wanted to have a place where people could watch videos either either live or archived. We do interviews at different venues. We have been doing political interviews for a while when we have city council and mayoral candidates. That's how we kind of got started with this, but we didn't have a website to put them on. And we invite people to submit their videos. Everybody has a video camera these days. There's a submit button on the myedmondsnewstv.com site where you can actually send your videos in. So if you want to watch an archived version, if you're just tuning in and you missed the children's parade, no worries. We will have that archive for you so you can go back and watch it later. If you were in the parade and you're watching this now, you know that you can stay on because this will also be going into the main parade very shortly. So, Larry, talk to me again about some history in Edmonds. I know you have some photos that we are going to be able...
I have a few things that we can put up,
so that we can talk about. So what kinds of things could we start with in terms of talking about the history?
Well, again, I think the oldest one that I have, maybe we should just go back to the beginning.
Okay.
I'll try to get this the oldest picture up here, and then
All right.
then we can flash that on the screen.
Okay, and I'm going to let you concentrate on that for a minute. And in the meantime, I'm going to mention again that this broadcast, which, by the way, we're not really sure if there are any other, I'm sure there might be some other towns in the United States that are doing this, but we know around here in the Puget Sound area, this may be one of the first, if not the only, live internet broadcasts of our 4th of July parade. And it is brought to you by the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce, which, by the way, sponsors all of these events. And it is also sponsored by the Chamber, the actual 4th of July all day long events are sponsored by the Hazel Miller Foundation. And Larry, I know you know that the Hazel Miller Foundation is an amazing contributor to this town. They have been donating to many good causes for several years. And we actually have, waiting to talk to us while Larry is getting up on his screen some of the historical photos, Diana White from the Hazel Miller Foundation Board is going to actually come and join us. So Larry, while you're looking for your photos, I'm going to take your mic. I'm going to have Diana come and sit down. And I want to make sure that Diana can be seen, so we're going to move over a little bit. So Diana,
hello.
Welcome.
Thank
Not
you.
sure you're quite in the shot yet, but we're getting the camera introduced so we can be seen.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
You are welcome.
Diana White wears a couple of hats,
Yeah.
at least a couple of hats.
Yeah.
Not only is she on the Hazel Miller Foundation Board, which is what we're going to be talking about today, but she is also on the Edmonds School Board.
Mm-hmm.
So you're busy.
I am.
And you have 3 kids?
4.
4 kids.
Yep.
When do you have time to sleep?
Yeah. I don't much, but yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So, Diana, I know we were just talking about the Hazel Miller Foundation and what a wonderful organization it's been. And I'm sure since you've been on the board for a while, you could probably fill me in a little bit, fill all of us in on the history of the organization and how it got started.
Okay. Well, first of all, Hazel Miller was a longtime Edmonds resident, and her and her husband Maury lived just right up here on 6th, and she passed away in about 2009, and our first grant was awarded in 2010. And the board consists of 7 members that live and reside in Edmonds, and they're appointed by the mayor. And you know, Hazel and Maury just loved Edmonds, and so while it's based in Edmonds, we actually serve all of South Snohomish County. And it basically follows the boundaries of the Edmonds School District. So if you are a 501c3 that serves people in this, this South Snohomish County area, those are the type of grants that we look for.
Right.
So,
and there are particular kinds of activities that the Hazel Miller Foundation kind of focuses on, correct?
Right. In general, we have 5 areas that we serve. We do poverty alleviation and hunger. We do education and youth services, the environment, civic and community services, and also cultural events and the arts.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So if you have a 501c3 organization in any of those categories,
Yep.
You could certainly apply for a grant, and you do grants 4 times a year?
Yes,
Is
4
that right?
times a year. Yeah.
Right?
Although people can submit a grant at any time,
right.
And the board will meet 4 times a year where
right.
we decide which grants to do. But one of the exciting things I think that the Hazel Miller board has done is we've kind of gotten to build some partnerships around the area. So we have we have partnerships with the food banks, and we have a great partnership with the Edmonds Public Schools Foundation, and we give over like 30 $1,000 in scholarships every spring, and so we like to develop these really wonderful partnerships that can continue over time. So.
Right. And in fact, I mentioned earlier that we were stationed here in front of Hazel Miller Plaza,
Yeah.
and that's in downtown Edmonds, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful plaza area that actually was named in honor of Hazel Miller, and I think the foundation actually gave some money to develop this property, correct?
Exactly, yeah. And we're just lovely that it does exactly what we wanted to. It just brings all the community here to come and eat their lunch and look around this beautiful town of ours. So
yeah. It is incredible, and they actually even have, for those who maybe have not been in Edmonds long, they actually have a concert in the park series now at the Hazel Miller Plaza. I didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That they do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful venue to come down after work and
Yeah.
just sit and eat dinner, bring a
Yeah.
picnic lunch, get some food from around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's a great spot.
Yeah.
So now tell me why the Hazel Miller Foundation, of course, has been a main funder of 4th of July activities.
Yep.
And what is the reason for that? Why did you feel that was a worthwhile thing for you to fund?
Well, for one, if you look at our mission of the Hazel Miller Group, we're really trying to build community and make Edmonds a place where people want to come back and raise their families, and that's just a really important piece of our mission statement. And so, and also one of the 5 areas is the civic community services. So when we started forming a partnership with the Chamber to fund this, it's just a beautiful day. It's like you come, the events start in the morning, they go all the way till 10 at night with the fireworks, and it's just a real wonderful community building event. And so I think Hazel would be super proud of what this does for our community.
Yeah. Well, I just can't, just personally as a citizen and someone who's involved in the community, I can't thank you enough for all you do as a board member on the Hazel Miller Foundation, and just from all citizens of Edmonds for the amount of impact that her legacy has had
Yes.
on all of the events. It's really terrific. So, Diana, I really appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to stop by. Thank you for all your service to the community. I mean, just amazing amount of work goes into being a school board member alone.
Yeah.
Let alone everything else.
Yeah.
So thanks again.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to mention? Oh, if people want to go on the website,
Yep.
what's the address?
Yep. It's www.hazelmillerfoundation.org.
Okay.
You can find all kinds of, you can find our mission, the grants we've given out in the past, how to apply for grants, when we meet. There's all the information that you need to go and find more information about Hazel Miller. So one of the new exciting things that's going to be coming is we're actually going to be helping put in the spray park down at the Edmonds City
right.
Park. So you can keep abreast of all the activities and all the fun things that we get allowed to do. So I just feel really blessed for Hazel and Maury's generosity to leave a foundation like that, and I just feel really blessed to be serving on the board. So
that's
yes,
great.
yes.
That's wonderful. And the spray park is going to be for next summer,
Yep,
correct?
Yep.
So that's at City Park there at 3rd and Pine. Right now they've just put in brand new play equipment, and
Yeah.
that's something that's about ready. I think they're going to have the ribbon cutting for that next week.
Right.
And then the spray park itself, the spray pad with all the water features, the kids can come and play and get cooled off in the summertime, and that'll all be there at City Park next summer, thanks to Hazel Miller
Yes,
Foundation.
thank you, Hazel.
Yeah, thank you, Hazel. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you, Diana.
Oh, thank you,
Appreciate
Teresa.
you stopping by,
Yes, great
and
to
I'm
see
going to
you.
grab that mic from you,
All right.
and we'll get Larry back on, and thanks again.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th to you. Larry, you're back.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
I found a picture.
Yay, that's great. So what are we looking at here? Are we
Okay.
ready? Is Scott ready to show the picture? That's the question. Scott is our technical whiz behind the scenes, and I'm waiting to get a thumbs up that we have the shot.
Okay, what we're looking at right now is the Shingle Weavers float from the 1907 Edmonds 4th of July
Oh,
parade.
my gosh.
Now, this is not the earliest 4th of July parade. We
Okay.
have a few years before that, but this is just a great picture showing the Shingle Weavers Union. At that time, Edmonds shingle mills were just running full tilt. These mills lined the waterfront, and they ran really 24 hours a day. All of the
gosh.
equipment that was in them ran on steam, so there was a huge steam boiler and steam engines that made it run, and belts and pulleys everywhere to turn all of the various pieces of equipment. And the shingle weavers were the folks who actually worked in the mills and made the shingles. These were made from trees that were harvested here in the Edmonds Bowl area, and the shingles were shipped all up and down the West Coast to builders from Southern California to Alaska. Edmonds was a real industrial center in the early years of this century.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that because you come here now and you don't see any shingle mills and you don't see any industry to speak of. I mean, really, we're a tourist town, not known for, well, correct me, Mr. Historian, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'd like to think of us as a nice residential town.
Well, that too.
And a business community.
And that's true too. But to be honest, the downtown is really more of a lots of little shops that people can go and visit, and certainly the business. I believe most of our sales tax these days comes from.
Indeed, it does.
Car dealerships up on Highway 99.
Yeah.
Not so much no shingle mills now, but I just think it's kind of amazing when you look at where we are, and that log cabin, for those who have never been to Edmonds, I don't know if that's part of your history pictures, but that's something
I could find a picture of the log cabin for sure.
Okay, well maybe we can show that later, but I think a lot of people don't realize that is part of kind of the history. Do you know the history of the log cabin?
I know a bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the log cabin was actually built up in the Seaview area.
Okay.
And it was built back in the 1920s, 30s, and it was the folks who built it ended up, it went through a couple of families, and it was donated to the city of Edmonds as a bicentennial project.
Okay.
And it was actually moved from Seaview down to where its present location, right across the street from City Hall near Centennial Plaza.
Wow. Well, I had no idea that it had been started up there, but what I find interesting is that I have to tell you, I'm going to make a confession.
Okay.
That when I was...
It's your secret's safe with me.
Yes, all right. Well, and all of the other friends that are watching, right? But when I was, in my early, 12-ish, 13-ish age, there was a television show on called Here Come the Brides.
Yes.
And one of the stars of Here Come the Brides was the female lead. Her name was Bridget Hanley. Bridget Hanley, my understanding, originally we grew up in this area. She's from, did you know this?
Yes, I did hear
that.
Yes.
So she's from this area originally. Ironically, the story was about Seattle. So here she is from Edmonds, starring on a show about Seattle and about, kind of that whole logging area. But my understanding is that she had something to do with getting that log cabin into place, correct?
I believe that it was she who arranged with the city to donate that
right.
cabin. And she and her family actually lived in that cabin for a while.
That's right. I think I do remember hearing
and
that.
it was originally built as a guest house on a property owned by Mr. Ganal.
Okay.
And he was working with a shipping magnate named Robert Dollar. Made a lot of money. And all the reports are that he had a place up in Seaview, invited people over, and it sounds like it was a place where Jay Gatsby lived. And
oh my gosh.
Jay Gatsby-style parties, and he had folks staying overnight a lot, and he needed an overnight cabin, and that's what it was originally built for.
Wow, that sounds like such an amazing, I'm sure you think about this all the time, but wouldn't it be nice to have a time capsule, be able to go back in time and see what that looked like, because I'm sure it was amazing.
Well, I have some old photos.
Oh, good. Well, we can get those up. Okay,
yeah.
well, we will make sure we do that. And let's go again and acknowledge, and if you want to take another moment to look at some more photos, Larry, I'm happy to just chat away here for a minute to remind people of the fact that we do have this particular event that we've never done before, live streaming the Edmonds 4th of July Parade. It is sponsored by the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce. They are the ones who are providing the sponsorship to make this possible today, because this is a big undertaking, as you can imagine. We are also want to mention the fact that the parade itself is being sponsored by Linwood Honda. And Larry's going to talk more about Linwood Honda later. I should have waited for that plug, but I'll get back to that in a moment, because he actually just bought his new car at Linwood Honda, but that was a coincidence. But Linwood Honda actually sponsored the main parade, and Windermere Real Estate Edmonds sponsored the children's parade, which we just finished with. So the Chamber, shout out to them for having the vision to be able to sponsor this event, this live streaming, making it possible. We're delighted to be here. I'm Teresa Whipple. I'm your host of My Edmonds News TV, founder and host of this parade, and Larry Vogel, who is sitting next to me and looking up some wonderful historical photos, is here with me to provide some of that great historical perspective. He has been kind of a history buff for a long time, was on the Historic Preservation Commission. I know he's going to elbow me if I get it wrong. Larry, it looks like I'm seeing some police motorcycles. I think we're almost ready for the main parade. I'm finding that hard to believe, but I think maybe I've lost track of time. Is that possible that it's time for the main parade? I think it is. Or at least, you know, that's the police motorcycle unit, and I think it's true. I think it looks like it.
We can wait for those log cabin pictures later. I just found a couple of them.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing that we're getting a shot of those police coming down the street. And you know, I forgot something really important, Larry. The winner of the fun run earlier today. And I have time to mention that before we actually get the parade entries, because they're just coming down the street. But the winners of the fun run were Myler Haller. I love this name. This is a kid from Edmonds Woodway High School. Myler Haller. And he's a track star at the high school, and he was the winner of the fun run. So we'll talk more about that later. Here is the Edmonds Police. I think it's the Edmonds Police, isn't it?
Is the name Myler real? Or
it is really his real name. Okay. Yes, there is the Edmonds Police motorcycle team right there.
Motorcycle team, and they're doing circles right in front of us.
There they are. Yes, indeed. A little acrobatics from the police force. How about that? You know, I watch them go around in circles on those things, and I know if that was me, I'd be sideways in a second.
Oh, me too. Me too. Many years ago, I decided I would get a motorcycle endorsement on my driver's license.
Yeah.
And I practiced and practiced. I went and took the test, and you know, that was the last time I ever rode a motorcycle.
Yeah. So we have a few little details. That motorcycle unit is headed by Sergeant Carl Roth. And with Sergeant Roth is Officer Steve Harbinson. And the Chamber wanted to make sure that we recognize the police for all their hard work in coordinating the security for the parade. My gosh, they were out here early this morning making sure that the streets were blocked off. They do a great job. But now, speaking of public safety, how was that for a segue?
Trucks. Yeah.
There's Fire District 1. And, you know, Fire District 1 is a fire service that covers not just Edmonds, but many communities, including Mount Lake Terrace, Briar, some of the unincorporated areas of Snohomish County. And they do just a fine job of keeping our community safe. And they've got, you know, all the kids love the fire trucks. And, you know, we would like to be sure to mention, too, that there is a fire department event later today at 2:30 at City Park, where they actually have a water ball.
They do, yeah.
Have you seen that before?
Well, I've got historic pictures of it.
Oh my gosh, well, we'll have to get those up too.
Yeah, we'll have to get them up at some point.
And in fact, it looks like there might be a gap between the fire trucks. Maybe we can look at that next, if you can find them.
Okay, well, I will try to find that one.
Yeah, if not, we'll probably have a gap somewhere else. But there it is, folks, Fire District 1. It is the county's largest provider of fire and emergency services. They have round-the-clock staffing at 12 fire stations, including 3 in Edmonds. And I am not going to try to talk over some of those sirens. I'll just let people listen. But they're giving out candy, too. Fire District 1, your fire service provider in Edmonds.
You know, at our local fire station here for Fire District 1, they have a very special memorial right out in front of the fire station. Right. The Fallen Firefighters Memorial.
That's right.
And in that is being mounted an actual girder from the World Trade Center.
I remember when they brought that from New York City. There was one of the fire department firefighters who went to New York to actually get that girder and escort it home.
That was Dave Bronco Erickson,
who
went to New York and actually personally escorted this girder back.
Yeah, and they had a very touching ceremony when they brought the girder in from, I think they brought it in from maybe the airport. And they had all of the uniformed firefighters and police officers here to greet it. And this was just, you know, I think that was probably 3 years ago or so, and you know, the memories of 9/11 are still very strong, very deep for all of us. I think we feel very.
Well, I think particularly for firefighters,
they really do.
So many of their brother and sister firefighters fell
Yes.
that terrible day.
So it meant a lot to them to have that girder, and now they are going to be incorporating it into a memorial. And by the way, I believe, Larry, they're still raising money for that memorial.
Indeed, they are. Yes.
So if someone wants to check that out, I don't remember the exact email, the website address for that, but I know if you Google Edmonds 9/11 Memorial, you'd be able to find out how you could donate to that if you're interested. So it looks like we do have a gap. I don't know if you were able to find any.
Well, I do have the picture of a water ball fight.
Oh,
from,
yay!
I believe this is from the early 1960s.
Okay, are we seeing that on our monitor? Are we seeing the water ball fight? We are. It's right there. There it is, Larry.
Okay.
Yay!
Great. All right. Well, this is from the early 1960s. Let's see if I can get an exact date on that.
Okay.
I've got my cheat sheet here. Excuse me.
Okay.
While I look on my cheat
It's all
sheet.
right.
1965, it says, is the water fight at City
Okay.
Park. But they'll be doing this again today, correct?
And yes, at 2:30 at City Park. And you know, I've taken pictures at that event over the years, and the truth is that I would imagine that it doesn't change. The look of the fire hoses hitting the ball as it goes across the park probably doesn't change too much. Probably the uniforms change from year to year. And of course the firefighters.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it yet, I do highly recommend that you go out to City Park and take a look at that, because it is so much fun. And you're going to get wet. Just know that. If you get anywhere close, you will get sprayed. The kids love it.
It's a warm day today, though. It's okay
It's
to
a
get
warm
wet.
day.
It'll
It's
feel
okay.
good.
That's right. It's a great time to take your family there if you want to have a picnic in the park. City Park is a beautiful spot. And you also, another thing that's really great about that is that the Fire District 1 actually has their units there, and they will have them available for kids to climb on and to have fun with. And it's really a great spot for the family, and it lasts probably about an hour.
Yeah.
And the way it was explained to me is the water ball is actually like a tug of war, where they each side sprays water up at the ball that's hung from across the park, and it's whoever can get the ball to the other side of the rope, is my understanding, or the cable.
Well, and
who
they get a
wins.
lot of pressure on those hoses too.
Oh, my
you know,
gosh.
these pumper trucks that they have, they're like big pressure washers on
Yes.
wheels.
Yes.
And they're taking the water from the hydrant, but then upping the pressure tremendously, so it comes out that hose, and it will spray a real far distance under lots and lots of pressure. So
Right.
there's a lot pushing those balls. You don't want to get between the guy with the hose on the ball.
This
you really
is
don't.
this is where we say the disclaimer: don't try this at home. You do not want to be doing any high pressure hoses in your backyard. But they know how to handle those hoses, and there's a bunch of firefighters who do it, and they have a lot of fun. So now we have another fire unit. It looks like I think this is one of their emergency units. I'm not exactly sure which one this is. It says Air Light Rehab, so I don't know exactly what this one does. I'm going to look it up on our cheat sheet and see if they said more about it. Oh, you know what this is? They are actually talking about the Heart of Edmonds project, and this is a new project. We definitely need to give this a little publicity, because the Heart of Edmonds people are on the top of that. This is an effort by the mom of a boy, a high school boy at Meadowdale High School, who collapsed of an undiagnosed heart condition last year. His name was Matthew Truax. Unfortunately passed away. The mom has turned her grief into this amazing project where they actually will try to put automated defibrillators in all of the Edmonds School District schools, so that if anybody collapses, there will be an AED there to revive them. So it is the Heart of Edmonds Schools is the name of the project, and they are raising money for that, and that's what that was all about. And Melinda Truax, who is Matthew Truax's mom, the mom of the boy who died, was actually on top of that event that truck we just saw.
And
So-
here comes a piece of history, Teresa.
Oh, look, it's the old
Look at
fire
this.
truck. What year is that from?
You know, I want to say 1926 or something like that.
Something like that.
It's an old one. We know that.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing on the date, really, but That's beautiful.
Is it right that that's the truck they're looking to find a permanent
That
place
is
to display it?
Yes, they're looking for a permanent, and what a piece of Edmonds history.
It is beautiful. It is really beautiful.
There it is.
Yes, indeed. And you know, one thing I will say, Larry, is that we will be announcing the parade winners. They did choose 6 winners of in different categories, and we do have the names of those winners.
And so we'll be able to announce them as
they pass by. Although I will say, if our technology whiz Scott is listening, we did get a revised list, which I shared with him so he could put them up on the screen.
Okay, good.
But I don't have it in front of me, so that if he's done with it, it would be great to get it back, because we will need to have some of the revisions, right? This is how we're communicating, folks. We don't have two-way communication with everybody, so Scott probably heard that, and he'll make sure we get the list back. Oh, we've got some Tootsie Rolls going on here. Yay.
Okay.
More sugar.
Tootsie
Thank
Rolls
you
are
very
among my
much.
favorites.
So now we have,
close to chocolate.
This is the Veterans Post 8870. So there we go. That is one of the Veterans of Foreign Wars organizations. And yay, we have our list now. Veterans of Foreign Wars, this is a very, very active veterans group. I have covered, they put on the annual Memorial Day celebration every year. And there we are honoring our heroes. Look, there they are from all different parts of the service.
And significantly, this group had a major role in the new Edmonds Veterans Memorial.
That's right, they did.
That's now down in front of the Public Safety Building.
Yes,
Edmonds was one of the few communities that did not have a Veterans Memorial, and now we do.
Thanks
in large part to the efforts of this group.
That's right, and that was just dedicated, what, about a month ago?
Yeah, it was just dedicated over Memorial Weekend.
And it was at the Public Safety Building complex there at 5th and Bell. There is an actual walkway there where they have a plaque, and they're going to be seeking funding to build that into a more substantial space. But they dedicated it over Memorial Day weekend. And actually, you know, a lot of these things we're mentioning, if people want more background, we have covered all of these events in myedmondsnews.com, which is, again, the site that kind of started all of this. myedmondsnews.com, we've been around for about 5 years, and then My Edmonds News TV sprung out of that site. But we're mentioning all these stories, and the reason why Larry and I know so much about them is because we've covered them over the last few years.
Many of them we wrote.
We wrote these stories, right. So if you're ever looking for more background information, just go on to myedmondsnewstv.com, myedmondsnews.com. There is a search box. And you will see more. So we're again seeing more veterans. A lot of them are in, it looks like, Army vehicles, and it's so great to have them as part of the parade. And we've got a panda here. Do you know what the significance of the panda is?
I am not sure what the significance of the panda is.
I'm looking to see if I have more information.
You've got the cheat sheet.
You know, I'm not seeing panda, but I'm sure there's a reason. So just some trivia about that is that those veterans that just walked by, they were actually from all the different wars: World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War, Iraq, and Afghanistan. So now this is the Coast Guard, as we're continuing the focus on, you know, the military. And here's how appropriate is that in Edmonds, a water community. We know how important the Coast Guard is for those who are boating, keeping the boaters safe. And there is the Coast Guard.
And here's the auxiliary patrol in a kayak.
In a kayak, appropriately with a safety vest on, which I'm sure a life jacket.
And a flag.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, beyond that is the Boots to Books and Beyond campaign. That is an incredible organization. That actually is an effort to help veterans transition to school and to work after they get out of the service. And this organization actually works with Edmonds Community College on helping vets to transition, and that is Jean Hernandez right there waving. She is the president of Edmonds Community College. Jean has been president for several years now, does a fantastic job, and this whole...
At Boots to Books is a tremendous program.
It really is.
It's really wonderful.
You know, veterans, they come back, they get out of the service, they don't necessarily know right away how to transition back into civilian life. Boots to Books really does help them with that, and that is what this group is working with Edmonds Community College to make sure they have a place to fit back into school. It really works well for them. So amazing.
It's wonderful
These
to have
are
an
old
organization that
Jeeps,
addresses
right?
that need.
Old Jeeps, are these, in your estimation, are these like, this almost look like MASH type? We've seen on the television show MASH.
These look like kind of old Jeeps,
Yeah, I think they are. I think they are. And that one has a name. That Jeep is named Ellen.
I think some folks make collector's items of them.
Yeah, they're really nice. Really nice. And then there's a Humvee, right?
Yeah. I guess that is a Humvee.
That is a Humvee.
Yeah.
And those were before they turned into SUVs and everybody was driving around for a while. These were the ones that were actually used in military service.
That's right. Oh, and here comes the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, there is the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce float. So
with the ferry.
Again, the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce actually sponsored this live streaming. Thanks to them, we are able to present this parade to you live and archived on My Edmonds News TV. Thanks again to the Chamber. They do so much to support this community. Every event you could possibly think of that happens in Edmonds is actually sponsored by the Chamber, Larry. I know a lot of people think it's the city of Edmonds, but the Chamber puts on the tree lighting, they put on the Halloween festival festivities, the Taste of Edmonds, the 4th of July, the car show. I'm sure I'm leaving out some.
And they do a great job of it, too.
They really do.
They really do. We're lucky to have some really dedicated folks as part of the Chamber.
And it is because of all those volunteers. And good segue, Hazel Miller Foundation. We just had Diana White
Another
from the
wonderful
board.
organization.
Thanks to the Hazel Miller Foundation for sponsoring this whole 4th of July event, the whole day of activities. They put in the money to put all of this together, to buy the fireworks. It is all because of them. And here is the actual representatives there in the car, Jack and Chris Luce, in the convertible. There they are, waving to the crowd. And you know, they are incredible contributors to the community.
Thank you, Jack and Chris.
Yes, thank you, Jack and Chris, for all you do. They are, and now we have the Parade Grand Marshals.
Oh my goodness, look at this car. Is that an old Ford?
And now it's time for your Linwood Honda plug, Larry.
Okay.
Because the Grand Marshals are Mike and Wendy Popke of Linwood Honda. Linwood Honda is actually the sponsor of today's parade.
And they are very active in our community.
They are
do
so
a lot
active.
of things.
Oh my gosh.
And
the
here
Edmonds
comes my
Center for
Linwood
the
Honda
Arts.
story.
Yes.
I went to a concert at the Edmonds Center for the Arts at Linwood Honda was helping to sponsor, and I met one of their sales staff, a wonderful guy named Danny Hook, who brought along a nice blue Honda Accord, and I fell in love with it, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. And a couple of months later, I went over to Linwood Honda, found Danny. He was busy, and he introduced me to a wonderful saleswoman named Tracy Robbins, who sold me the car.
And there, by the way, that's awesome. And there's the mayor of Edmonds and his wife, Sue, Dave Early. He was elected 3 years ago, and he's in the parade today. And we've got some folks on Segways here.
Segways, yeah.
The Edmonds Segway, that's actually a place in Edmonds, a business where you can go rent a Segway.
It's not a transition out of Edmonds, is it?
No.
I didn't think so.
And so here we have, what next here? Oh, Segway, the car. And Larry, I'm sorry, but here is the My Neighborhood News Network car.
Oh, well,
That
let's
is,
wave at them
with the
now.
dogs.
And who's that handsome dog in the back seat?
My Neighborhood
Two
News
dogs.
Network. It's our own personal plug.
We got to pause to wave at them,
we've
huh?
got the spokes dogs for the My Neighborhood News Network. I know those dogs personally. So there they just went by.
And Teresa, I just have to put in a plug for you for all the work you have put in to make My Neighborhood News what it is.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Larry.
I'm really pleased to be part of your effort.
My privilege to serve the community in this way. And you know what? Moving right along, we have the Shorewood Thunderbirds drill team. Shorewood High School, of course, is right down the street from Edmonds in North Shoreline. And there is the Shorewood High School drill team. And boy, they're moving along fast.
Yeah, they really are.
Before the next one comes along.
Yeah, it's just one after another, isn't it?
And North Sound Church at 4th and Bell. I think everybody has seen this church. They may not know the name of it. I bet there's some history in that church, isn't there, Larry? Beautiful historic building at 4th and Bell. It has a nice white steeple, white church.
Definitely.
And who knows that there were so many motorcycle riders at the North Sound Church?
You know, just briefly, you mentioned Shorewood, and they came right after the mayor. We did cover the mayor. You know, Mayor Erling was a former music instructor, and he actually had the chance to conduct the orchestra over at Shorewood.
Right.
And we have that on myedmondsnews.com.
That's right. We
can
actually
go and search for Mayor Erling, and you can find pictures
Right.
of him conducting the orchestra.
And most people didn't know that he was a music teacher long before he was a politician.
And now he's conducting the city.
Yeah. And it looks like the North Sound Church vehicles were actually provided by Campbell Nelson, another big community supporter. They're up on Highway 99 and 205th. Campbell Nelson is a great contributor to the community as well. They do a lot of charity work, so kudos to them for helping out with the parade today. And we have more and more candy. My gosh, we're still ending up with a lot of candy
And
here
small
at our
bottles of
table.
water this time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Even better idea. So now, it looks like we have, following the North Sound Church, we're catching up here. We've got the
Masons.
Freemasons. And so the Freemasons and the Job's Daughters right behind them. And I don't know a lot about
My grandfather was a
Job's
Mason.
daughter. Oh, your grandfather was a Mason.
Yes, indeed, he was.
Okay. And the Job's Daughters are actually affiliated with the Masons, aren't they, or are they? Am I getting that wrong? I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'm not going to. I'm sorry for showing my ignorance.
Sponsored by the Grand Lodge of Washington, I'll bet you.
I think they're Mason affiliated.
Yeah.
So, and I know Job's Daughters is a wonderful organization for girls. They do a lot of community service work. So. And Rainbow Girls, which is another wonderful, wonderful organization for young ladies. And look at the glitter on that gown. Isn't that beautiful,
dress.
Larry?
Wow.
I think she's got a hoop skirt on.
I believe so.
And the motorcycle, a lot of motorcycle people with Freemasons have their motorcycles too. And here's some history for you.
Here's some traditional costumes. Look at this.
This is the 2nd Connecticut Regiment of Militia. And I am looking to see what that is. It's a family-oriented reenacting group that studies the Revolutionary War and life in the 18th century. So appropriately,
it's
they
great
are
to keep
dressed.
this culture and this history alive.
Isn't
Being
that
a
great?
history person, I'm just enjoying seeing this.
And Larry, if people want to stop by later, if you're watching the parade, they have actually set up a camp at the Civic Field, which is where the fireworks will be later on today. And their camp actually shows how people in the 18th century lived and worked.
Oh,
so
look who we have
by.
here.
Oh,
Fran Cohen in a Chrysler convertible,
the Citizen
Chevrolet.
of the Year. And Larry,
Fran
I
Cohen
know
is an amazing person.
you interviewed Fran.
I did.
And what is she involved with? So many
Boy,
community
what is she
things.
not involved in?
Right.
It would be an easier list, but let's start
Yep.
with a few things. You can watch her walking around town. She walks around town at least 3 days a week, just picking up trash and putting it
Wow.
away.
It's
If
incredible.
she finds money, she uses it to donate food.
Oh, that's amazing.
She told me that about, maybe it was 7 years ago, someone gave her 30 large garbage bags full of yarn, and she sat there and decided, what am I going to do with all this yarn? She decided to make it into Afghans and donate them to children's hospitals.
Yeah, and I know she still does
And
that.
she does
makes
hundreds of them.
hundreds of Afghans. She donates them. And the Citizen of the Year is actually, for those who have not heard of it, the Edmonds Kiwanis Club chooses someone who is deserving, and they do look for somebody who is an integral part of the community. It really is an important way to honor those who have given back.
And if I can put in one more shameless plug,
Yes.
go to myedmondsnews.com in the search bar and search for Fran Cohen.
Yep, and we
You'll
have
see
more about
pictures
her.
of her quilts and learn a whole
Yep.
lot more about what this amazing woman does in our community.
Now take a look at this drill team. I tell you, this is what parades are about, Larry. When you actually
Yes.
seal the drill teams, I'm going to just let people watch this for a minute.
I love the tassels on the shoes.
Let's just take a look and let people watch their routine, because they are something else. And Larry, guess what? This was an award winner. Diva Upgrades Drill Team won the award for the most original of the Edmonds Chamber entries. So they actually are one of the best entries in the parade. Again, the Diva Upgrades Drill Team won the most original.
Well, look at them go. They've got my vote.
Yep, they are something else, I'm telling you. Look at that. That is some energy for you. I'm feeling like an absolute slug sitting here watching them.
Go out and enjoy. Oh, my God. Oh, that looks painful.
I tell you, to be able to know how to do the splits anyway, but to do it on concrete in front of a bunch of people, that is something. Thank you to the Divas.
Gosh, do they have
Diva
a most
upgrades.
athletic category?
They should have been in. They don't, but that would have been where they should have been.
I think so, yeah.
That was a winner, folks. If you want to rewind your program at home, you can watch it later and you can see those splits in slow motion. And here we go, another entry. Newhart Place Men's Recovery and Discipleship Home. Looks like they have an entry. I bet if you Googled that, I think we've done some stories on them in the past, but they also are quite a community service. Oh, and now we've got a political entry.
That's one of our candidates
One
for
of our candidates,
the State
Sean
House.
Peterson, running for, he's actually an Edmonds City Council member running for 21st District Legislature, and we just happen to be sitting out in front of his
And also
place.
proprietor of one of the greatest eateries in town.
Yes, the resident cheesemonger. He does know how to make a mean cheese sandwich. I can personally testify to that. So there's some of Strom's supporters there coming along.
And another one, Marco
Oh,
Elias,
Marco Elias.
was with him.
Marco, who is running
there's
for
Paul
state
Shin.
senate. Oh, and
Hi,
Paul
Paul.
Shin. That's
How
great.
are ya?
Paul Shin is there. So Paul Shin actually retired from his seat, and Marco Elias was appointed to his. This is kind of a musical chairs thing. Marco Elias was appointed to Paul Shin's seat, and then that left an open legislative seat. And that's not the one Strom is running for, actually. But nonetheless, they're all running for office, so check them out if they want to, if you want to learn more. And we talked about Campbell Nelson. Here is more Campbell Nelson Volkswagen, Nissan. They've got a great, looks like a nice stuffed animal there in their shuttle minivan there. And they actually have I know about this. This is on My Edmonds News, too. There is something where you can vote for your favorite charity, the Big Vehicle Giveaway. They're actually giving away this vehicle for a charity to use. And you can actually go to Campbell Nelson and vote on that. And there's a couple of Edmonds organizations. One of my favorites, the Edmonds Public Schools Foundation, which actually raises money for teachers to use in their classrooms.
Wonderful.
And they would use that vehicle, if they got it, to actually do a program in the summer where they feed kids who don't have access to school lunch programs. So go on the Campbell Nelson website and look for that contest and vote. Vote often and vote early.
And here we got the Rainbow City Band.
The Pride of Seattle, the Rainbow City Band. Look at this group. I'm telling you, the best part about a parade is a band. In addition to drill teams that do splits, that is. Very nice, don't you think? And the Edmonds Chamber Foundation.
And Edmonds Chamber Foundation and that beautiful black Mustang.
And
wow.
the foundation, for those who don't know, that is actually the fundraising arm of the chamber. As you can imagine, with all of these chamber activities, they don't come cheap, and the chamber does raise money to support all of these efforts they do in the community. And
here
so you
comes
can
another
make
reward winner.
Oh, which one is this?
Most patriotic.
Oh, Miss Patriotic, which is
You've got
which
the
one?
sheet here, Teresa.
I have the sheet. Oh, that is Linwood Elks Lodge number 2171, the Most Patriotic Award.
And let's see what it looks like. Well, it sure is red, white, and blue. A lot of it.
It is very patriotic. Oh my gosh. That is a lovely, lovely float.
Makes me want to stand up and salute.
It certainly does. Doesn't get much more
Whoa, and this
patriotic
red
than that.
59 caddy makes me want to stand up and salute too, huh? Look at that.
And that looks like that is the exalted ruler.
Or maybe a 58 caddy. I don't know. I like
That
it.
is some car, isn't it?
Wow.
Lovely.
Boy, they knew how to make them back then.
And they've got all kinds of, I don't know, I'm always tempted to say Grand Poobah. That's probably actually That's probably actually a title for some organization that I don't know about. But this is leading night. Again, these are all part of the award winner for most patriotic. Linwood Elks Lodge number 2171. And here is a First Lutheran Church of Richmond Beach entry. They've got a very nice big pickup truck, big enough to actually hold music and a soundboard. Can you believe that? That guy's actually playing a keyboard in the back of the pickup truck.
Getting some music.
That's some nice tunes right there, I'm telling you.
Sort of trilling the treble and rolling the bass.
Very nice, yep. Looks like they have some church members and they have a preschool associated with it. And I'm guessing some of these youngsters are probably part of this preschool given their age. Very, very cute. And so next, what do we have next? I have to be honest, I have totally lost
We're on
my
number
place.
39 here.
Number 39. So let's see if I can find that on my cheat sheet.
Lions,
Well,
the Lions.
Oh, it's the Lions.
Of course.
Okay,
I can tell by the lion.
Another wonderful community service organization. You know, we have so many in Edmonds. This is such a civically engaged town. We have many community service organizations. They all do wonderful things for Edmonds, and I am sure they are all looking for members. So if you're ever interested in learning more, we do have a list of links on My Edmonds News, and I do believe that we have links to all of the service organizations in town.
And the service organizations are so active in our community, Teresa. It's
They
part
really
of what makes
are.
Edmonds the place that it is.
It really
There are
does.
enough people who want to get involved
They
and
give
who want
back.
to give their time and give back to the town.
Yep. And speaking of Lions, there is a Seattle Lake City Lions Club that is part of the mix there with the Lions. And look at that card. Isn't that beautiful? Is that a...
Well, that's an old Camaro, I think.
Camaro?
An old Chevrolet
Yeah.
Camaro. I like the
If I
color.
can find my place, I could probably tell you.
It's a V28 Camaro.
V28 Camaro, I'm hearing from folks behind us.
And here comes Martial Arts from Richmond Beach. I see that, and my mild dyslexia always makes me want to say marital arts. But it's martial arts,
Martial
folks.
arts,
It's martial
yes.
arts.
And down I don't know if we've got a shot of it on the camera, but they are doing their routine as they're walking down the street. I don't know if they are going to
They need to
do
run a
another
little bit and
routine
catch
when
up.
they come down to us.
Well,
They're
gosh, I
doing
hope
their martial arts performances.
I see green shirts and black belts.
And they are all decked out. It looks like
I'm
they
not
are.
going to mess with them.
No, I'm not messing with them. It looks like they all have black belts to me.
Yeah.
There they are, doing their kicks. Yeah, they know what they're doing, I'm telling you. Yeah, those are very, very much. Oh! Try again. Is he going to break this board?
I think we're
do you
going to break a board.
Let's see. Oh, nice job! He broke the board. That's impressive. I'm telling you, that's something else.
I love the T-shirts.
Great T-shirts. It looks like we got quite a few martial. Up. Here we go again.
Look at the little ones in the back.
I know.
Aren't they cute?
Great?
Budding black belts.
I'm telling you.
They're
that's
pink belts right now.
Pink belts. They are just. And the boards. They're all carrying boards. They're all kicking these boards. This is incredible.
My God.
Can you believe that?
I got an old fence that needs to be knocked down, guys. Come over to my house when you're done.
I just know that if I did that, I would break my foot. I'm just sure of it.
Oh, no,
they
I want
must know
them to
they're
do
doing-
it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
there
going
you
to
go.
invite them
No,
over.
I meant if I tried to break one of those boards on the street, I would not be successful.
I'd trip over my own feet before
But
I
I
got
am
to
sure
it.
they are trained. More. My gosh, who knew there was so much Taekwondo in the world?
Look at that. That looks like a piece of plywood. That's
I
not
know.
some wimpy thing.
No. And that is not pre-cut, folks.
They're breaking the real stuff.
Yeah, we're not. There's no cheating going on here. We're seeing these boards go by, so we can tell you this is real. Yep. So we've got more Taekwondo coming along, and oh, and this is kickboxing. Of course it is. That would explain the kicks.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we are waiting for some more. Oh, you know looks like what's being advertised next. There is some actual trivia there.
Okay.
Revolutionary War trivia, which is appropriate. I'm sure you could tell us that. Can you tell us when Larry, can you answer these questions?
Can I answer any of these questions? Well, who were the Americans fighting against? I imagine the English. Correct?
I would imagine.
Yes. Who were here
and where was
taxing
the
us.
last battle of the Revolution? Now, the answers are on the back, so if you don't know, we can wait till they pass
battle.
by.
I know it, but I've forgotten it.
I know. I don't want to make myself look foolish by answering incorrectly. Let's see.
Yorktown.
Yes, you win. I don't know why you win. Maybe somebody will throw some more candy at you. I'm not really sure. So I have to give in a plug for the Edmonds Classic Card Show. That's a chamber event. That was just, that sign just went by. It's on September 8th. If you have not been to the Classic Car Show, that is worth going to on September 8th.
That's wonderful. They close down all the streets downtown.
They do.
And folks entered their automobiles, and there's some beautiful, beautiful cars down here.
Beautiful
things that people spend their life on.
There are muscle cars, and they actually have, or they used to anyway, there's a time when everybody can rev up their cars and show how loud their engines are. It's just, for those of you...
One thing I learned last year, be careful touching the cars. I went by one that was beautiful, and I couldn't keep on, and I touched it, and the owner came out and said, "Don't touch my car, it will hurt the finish, it will oxidize, it'll put fingerprints on it."
Well,
this
lesson,
is someone who
lesson
loves
learned
his car.
there, huh?
So, look but don't touch.
Right, okay, good advice to have. So what do we have here?
And speaking of the car show, here's some fuel dragsters.
Wow, look at that.
These are the ones that they start up, and these things are loud, folks.
All right.
These are loud.
Okay. Do you think that's going to be at the car show?
That is at the car show.
Okay.
When they start those up, it's always an event. You can hear them for blocks and blocks away.
That's great. And now we've got some more churches. Looks like this is Grace Lutheran Church. And that is,
I love the old
that
Model A, huh, with the rumble seat.
Oh, that's on 9th Avenue. Okay. I think I've been by that church before. So we've got Grace Lutheran Church, and then do we have more churches coming along here, it looks like?
Who's number 45? Let's see. That's what's coming next. Beautiful blue car. Hey, that's the same color as my Honda.
It is.
Yeah.
And look at the dog in there. Oh my gosh, is that a puppy or who
knows?
Oh,
so
what
a face.
Cute.
There's a human soul in that animal.
Little, oh, very, very good. So now we have the next. Okay, there is the next event. People walking, Muslims for Loyalty.
Muslims for Loyalty.
And
excellent.
What a wonderful display they have of all the American flags, lots of patriotism there, nice group of folks walking along. I love this sign. Love for one's country of residence is part of faith. MuslimsForPeace.org. And I believe that church is actually up there in Linwood on Highway 99.
I think so, yes.
Across from the Linwood Costco, if anybody wants to know where that church is. So Muslims for Loyalty, that just went by. Now, this looks like some parade royalty here. We've got
tiaras. I see the women wearing tiaras in the back.
I am going to see if I can find my list because I've totally lost my place. But I will get back to it. In the meantime,
Miss Washington.
Well, how about that? We rate having Miss Washington in our parade. Folks, that just goes to show what an amazing parade this is, that we actually get Miss Washington. Now, look, Larry, this is an award dear to our heart. The Chamber Trophy, another award winner, the Edmonds Historical Museum.
Oh, yes.
This group is a group that Larry and I happen to be intimately familiar with because we're both on the board of the Edmonds Historical Museum.
It's a wonderful organization.
Wonderful organization. Their whole mission is to preserve the history of
Edmonds.
And
there's the pedal fire truck.
There's the
up
little,
on the back.
That you can actually...
Which is up for raffle now. You buy tickets for that, and it goes to help support the museum and the work that they do.
What I love about this float is that it's a replica of the Edmonds Museum building, which is the Carnegie Library. Do I say that right?
Carnegie Library.
Is it Carnegie or Carnegie?
I think
I've heard
either
it both
is
ways.
correct.
Tomato or tomato. So whichever you prefer.
Potato, yes.
But it's a replica of. And so they're doing a little bit of a plug here. They've actually trying to raise money for a downtown fire museum, part of the historic Edmonds effort.
And here comes the Mayor's Trophy.
Mayor's Trophy, the
to the
Floridum.
Edmonds Floridum Garden Club, near and dear to my heart, because
Right.
my wife Janice is a member of the
That's
Floridum
right.
Garden
Is she
Club.
on the float this year?
She will be walking next to the float,
Okay,
and we
very
will wave
good.
to her as she goes by. But I'm really happy that they took the Mayor's Trophy. They actually have some potted plants from her collection on the float.
That's great. And you know, as luck would have it, I'm back on task. I'm back in my place. I found
All right.
Floridum.
Well, the
What
Floridum
what
Club has been going for 92 years, I believe.
Yes, and their whole mission is to beautify Edmonds with horticultural, floral, and landscape design. And Larry, actually, they played a big role in designing, I believe, some of the Hazel Miller Plaza gardens behind us.
Indeed, they do. And the little corner gardens that you see, the corner
yes.
plantings, Floridum helps to plant
They-
those.
because
And the
that's-
hanging baskets. And there's my
Yeah.
Janice
Oh,
right out
very
there.
nice.
Hi, Jan.
She's coming
Hi,
over.
Jan.
Oh,
Hi, Jan.
there we go. Very nice. Oh, a little love on the Edmonds 4th of July Parade live streaming. Don't you love that? And there is actually one of the Floridum
And
members.
Diane Buckness is our council member.
President Diane Buckness is a member of the Floridum. And one thing I wanted to say about the Floridum as well, you know, those beautiful hanging baskets and the corner baskets, or the corner gardens, those are done by volunteers, a lot of them. We don't have city budget to do those, and the Floridum and other volunteers show up to help plant all those beautiful flowers. And going past right now is Frontier Communications. That's one of the internet providers in town.
I like the
they
hats.
Yeah, very nice hats.
Probably hot today, huh?
Yeah, very, very nice little setup there with the, what kinds of, are those Viking hats, or what would you call those
I would call
exactly?
those buffalo hats.
Buffalo hats,
maybe.
thank you.
Buffalo
I don't know where I
hats,
came
yeah.
up with Vikings. Oh, there goes my list again. Well, we've lost the list, but hopefully maybe somebody will rescue it. Oh, somebody's rescuing it for us. So,
Okay.
we've got, I know we noticed a few massage therapy places. This is Elements
If you need
Massage,
something to
walking
hold
past.
that down, maybe here. Will that work?
So I could use a massage about now. I don't know about you. Sitting in this same position for a while.
Coffee would be good.
Coffee would be
I'll
good.
take coffee.
Coffee instead of a massage?
And chocolate.
And chocolate. Well, you know, looks like we mostly got the sugar. Okay, so what do we got here next? Oh, I am telling you, this group of people, Edmonds Woodway Jazz. And the reason why we are
Here we
talking
go.
about them is because, I'll tell you why.
We got a little jazz band up there, some Dixieland jazz going.
Yes, and I'm going to give the names out. Luis Ross on bass, Raul Matthews on drums, Brant Fisher on sax and trumpet, and Rusty Farivar on guitar. And they have some amazingly talented jazz players at Edmonds Woodway High School. Larry, I don't know if you know this,
Oh,
but
they sure do.
they have been going to the Essentially Ellington Festival, which is one of the premier high school jazz band festivals in New York City for several years. In fact, Mentlick Terrace High School and Edmonds Woodway have had entries in that prestigious festival for many years now. And we've got an incredible amount of jazz talent in this community. And so we just heard some of them.
Their
now-
jazz talent is on display every year too at the Edmonds Jazz Connection.
Jazz Connection, right. And they also play at Sea Jazz on the weekends. I
Yes.
believe it's on Sundays at the Port of Edmonds, and also on Wednesday evenings. They actually have jazz music provided by the high school jazz musicians.
Well, I got to confess, I've become a major fan of saxophonist Kyle Brooks from,
he's
from
amazing.
Edmonds Woodway, and he graduated this year. He's heading down to Eugene. He's going to become a Duck.
That's right. That's right.
But I will definitely miss him being around town and his talent.
Now, Larry, I think we just missed Pacific Little League, which was, we are big fans of sports here at My Edmonds News TV. But we also have a new one here, Edmonds Eagles Youth Lacrosse. And I happen to know a little bit about lacrosse because I was involved with live streaming some lacrosse matches last year. It is a growing sport in the community, in the nation. It's actually the fastest growing youth sport.
No,
they're actually handing us water bottles in their lacrosse sticks, which is very creative. Fastest growing youth sport in the United States, I believe, and becoming very, very popular in Washington State as well. So lacrosse is a sport we'll be seeing more and more of at the high school level. And now The Trike Stop.
The Trike Stop Child Care and Preschool located
Take
up
a
on
look at
76th.
all that.
They
Look
have
at
two
that.
locations up there.
Right.
A regular daycare, and they have an infant care center that
Right.
takes care of children from 4 months to a year, I believe.
Yep. And those folks are got a variety of different ages. Look at some of those cute. I wonder if some of those are doubled up from the children's parade. They did the children's parade and then they came back and did the main parade. Do you think?
Gosh, a twofer. Those poor kids going to be worn out. Although
Yeah.
they're riding. So
They're riding. The parents
they'll
are going to be
probably be
worn
okay.
out from pulling them. Yeah. And you know what? Coming up, we have another Chamber Award winner. It is the funniest, and by looking at it, I think you can see why. This is the Pirates of Treasure Island, the funniest award in the parade. And I think we're going to get some serious action from these pirates here. You know, I've seen one of these pirates before, and they tend to come right up in your face.
Oh,
I don't know if
look
they'll
at
come
with
up
the
in our
whips,
face.
okay,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yep. And he has you see that guy has a rubber chicken? I'm wondering what he's going to do with that. Have any guesses? Oh, he's wearing it. He's wearing the rubber chicken.
He's wearing the rubber chicken. All right.
Very nice. Oh, very, very nice.
Good.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. He just said, in case somebody didn't get that, only the captain is allowed to have feathers. That's why he's wearing the rubber chicken.
Aye, matey! Aye, matey!
Give me an R.
And that is a camel that shoots bubbles? Is that what? Oh, yeah.
gosh.
Oh, no, spitting camel.
The spitting camel? Wow.
That's great. And then here we've got the
Here's
pirate,
the pirate ship.
Gotta love that. Definitely deserving of an award. Who doesn't love a pirate?
Now, don't we have once a year a Talk Like a Pirate Day?
There is Talk Like a Pirate
When
Day.
is that?
You got me. I don't know.
R.
Google it. Arg. Yeah. And now here is an event that is coming up that is also another service club event. Concourse. There's a concours, I believe the S is silent.
Concours
d'Elegance at the Wood. And the reason why they call it at the Wood is it's actually at the Linwood Golf Course. It's on July 12th. It is some of the most beautiful cars, my understanding. Pebble Beach quality cars
I think
come
it's
to
on
that.
the 18th
It's on the
fairway
18th
where you
fairway.
have to use your wood.
Yes, and there is an actual admission charge because all of the money they raise goes to programs that the Alderwood Terrace Rotary Club sponsors.
Now, this is a gorgeous old Packard right here.
Isn't that beautiful?
This is lovely.
Oh my gosh, take a look at that car. Isn't that something? Yeah. That is really something.
I'll trade you
Beautiful,
my
beautiful
Honda.
car.
Don't listen, Linwood Honda.
That is a lovely, lovely
There will be
car.
60 cars up at the golf course next weekend.
60 cars. That's what there's the guy who's passing out information to tell us that there are 60 cars that are going to be at that Alderwood Terrace event on July 12th at the Edmonds, the Linwood Golf Course. Edmonds doesn't have a golf course, but it's by Edmonds Community College, so that's why I got confused. Okay, and so what is this next entry? I've lost my place again, I'm afraid. Okay, that is part of the Church of God entry. Now we've got the Ballard,
the Ballard
yay!
Eagles drill team.
Another drill team. I love the drill team. So here's some facts about the Ballard
These
drill
young
team.
people are
Ballard
so
Eagles.
good.
Aren't they good? They are in their 53rd year. And Larry, I'm going to tell you, I told you I grew up in Ellensburg. I am pretty sure that when I was at the Ellensburg Rodeo Parade as a child, this drill team was always in the parade. And I think they were wearing the same outfits. Honestly, I
Maybe
think
the same colors, not
they
the
look-
same
no,
ones.
well, no, but the same, yeah, probably not the same ones. But I recognize them. I mean, these are amazingly talented folks. They really know their drill. And they took first place this year on April 19th at the Seattle Drill Team Association competition for the second year in a row. So I would have to say, if they take first place, they're pretty darn good.
Well, this doesn't happen without a lot of hard work, too, and a lot of very talented, dedicated instructors.
Yep. Very, very nice folks. I'm telling you, this is they are precision drill right there. And now, yet another award.
Best decorated.
Best decorated. And this is the Linwood Emblem Club number 366. And I've always wondered, do they put numbers on them because that's just how many there are in the United States and they get a number? That's probably it, right?
I'll bet, yeah.
So, and let's talk about what the Linwood Emblem Club does, because I did not know this. They actually donate scholarships to local students, and they adopt a class at local schools. So they are, again, another civic organization that supports the community. They also support the military and veterans, and they are, again, one of the award winners. They are the award of the best decorated entry.
And another political display coming up.
And you actually covered the campaign
kickoff
for Justin McMahon. He is also running for 21st District Representative. And Justin is an Edmonds resident. I've spoken with him in the past, as I know you have. There's Justin.
There's Justin right
is
there.
Actually a student at the University of Washington, Bothell. I remember speaking with him at one point. His wife told me he's actually taking a leave of absence from school to run for office. But I tell you, that is the kind of young people getting involved in the legislative process. It's so wonderful to see. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to bring back my Ellensburg Rodeo Parade reference, but these folks also have been around
Just
forever.
brings you right back to Ellensburg,
Brings me
doesn't
right
it?
back to Ellensburg. Yes. Well, look at these beautiful horses.
They're lovely.
Honestly, those are gorgeous animals. And of course, whenever there's horses, there's got to be somebody to pick up the horse droppings.
Well, I was
sure.
wondering about that. I didn't want to mention that.
I think that's what the golf court is
but,
for.
I'm not a farm guy, so.
Yep.
I'm a city kid.
That is the Snohomish County Sheriff's Posse, by the way.
That's picking up after the horses?
No. Yes, there. See, they've got a bucket in the back.
Okay.
That is their job. We didn't make that up, folks.
Okay.
They've got a shovel in the back. Oh, and Romeo's Restaurant, they have...
Hey, and look at the classic Greek outfits,
Classic Greek outfits, I'm telling you.
Regular Praxitali sculpture, hey!
I'm telling you.
And a warrior.
That's great.
Sparta.
Romeo's Pizza, very, very nice entry there.
Oh, Romeo, that must be Italian, it must be Roman.
Romeo's Restaurant. Well, I'm telling you, this is what it tells me. I'm reading this twice. It says Haitian in Greek, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say Italian in Greek. I think somebody forgot to spell check.
Okay, so we could say Greek gods after
yeah,
all.
Italian
okay,
and Greek food.
Okay, Italian and Greek
I'm
food.
sticking with it. I don't think it's Haitian food. I think it's Italian
That
food.
would be a strange mix of cuisines.
However, and they did say they do have belly dancing, which explains the outfits. And Shermack Construction, there is another Edmonds. I almost said Ellensburg because I'm going backwards in time. That is another Edmonds institution.
Edmonds organization.
And Shermack actually was remodeling your bathroom.
They
Isn't that
help
right?
support a lot of things in the community, and they just built us a gorgeous shower in our bathroom.
And I have to give Shermack a plug because they actually came on as a myedmondsnews.com advertiser when
There's
they first
Kathy
got started.
Harshberger. Hi,
Kathy
Kathy.
Harshberger, their director of marketing, who is actually one of our great community supporters, does a lot for the community herself personally. Oh, and look at this, Greece. This is the Edmonds Center for the Arts, and the person in the pink, I don't know if we got a copy of that, that particular thing. That was Maggie Peterson, My Edmonds News Advertising and Marketing Director. She was.
And here's more political
Jeff
displays.
Scherer.
Jeff Scherer,
Isn't he
also
your
a candidate for the State House. Jeff lives right across the street from me.
Yeah, and you went to his kickoff.
I did, yeah.
Folks, if there's any doubt that we cover the community, I think you can tell we cover the community because everything we talk
Jeff.
about. There's Jeff running for 21st
Busy waving at
District
the crowd.
Legislative as well. So Jeff Scherer, we've had, I think, I've lost track, 4 candidates now. Oh, there's
I think
another
so,
one.
yeah.
Dan Matthews
Oh,
for
Dan
State Senate.
Matthews for the Senate.
21st
He'll be running
District,
against
okay.
Marco Elias.
Right, must be, because there's only one Senate seat for the
Correct.
district, so that's right. So after we've got, what's next here, now that I'm back on my list? R&R Towing.
I was going to say, this sure looks like a tow truck to me.
Vehicle. Yes, there they are.
Look at the size of that tow truck.
That is a big one. I imagine they can handle just about any size truck. Ooh.
Oh, my God. Oh,
She
I
did that
thought
on
she fell.
purpose.
She did
No.
that on purpose.
Larry, if you and I did that, that would not be on purpose.
No.
We'd need help getting up.
Be the last parade I'd ever cover.
Yeah, no kidding. We'd have to call back the Fire District 1 medic people to help us out.
I like the paint job on that truck being
Isn't that
towed.
beautiful? Got some stars stuck on there. Very, very nice. So more R&R towing. Looks like they have 3 different, or maybe that's a different one behind them there.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, you know what's coming behind this? This is another one of my favorite
marching
entries. This is the Linwood Community Band. They actually have a lot of their band members on the pickup truck. And this is a group of folks from Linwood. I don't know if they're all from Linwood, but they represent Linwood. And they get together, and imagine that. They have the chairs on the back of the flatbed, and there they are. Some patriotic music for you right there.
Yeah. Oh, and here comes some more martial arts. I love to watch this.
This is another Taekwondo group. I don't know. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's Taekwondo, not Taekwondo.
I think it's Taekwondo.
Oh, see? Tomato, tomato.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But I think I did it wrong. I'm going to let you talk about this since you pronounced it correctly. Tell me more about this group, Larry.
Well, you can just see all
I've
the
got
work
the notes.
that goes in, and the dedication on the part of these kids. My kid was in Taekwondo for a while, and it's something that you really get into. It's more than just moving your body and a martial art. It's a spiritual practice.
And you know, they are located actually in Edmonds, it says. They're going to be some more kicking of the boards. Oh my gosh. That guy did a great job kicking that board, I'm telling you. So they actually have a location at the Francis Anderson Center. They teach a class there up at the City of Edmonds Francis Anderson Center, and they also have a location on Highway 99. Oh, and now what do we have here?
This is Happy 4th of July.
Dale Turner YMCA.
Oh, the Dale Turner YMCA.
Now, here's what's really interesting, Larry, and again, we did a story. I hate to keep repeating myself, but if you want more, we did a story on this. Dale Turner YMCA is almost in Edmonds. It's technically in Shoreline. But they do have a really nice Edmonds connection, and that is that they actually have partnered with the City of Edmonds to run the Yost Pool this summer. So they've got Yost Pool staff there from the Dale Turner YMCA staffing the pool, and it's been a nice partnership for the city this year.
It's been great because we get the experience of the YMCA instructors and the program coordinators, and they can spread their talents out among the Edmonds Pool and other facilities. So it's really a great win-win situation for the City of Edmonds, for our citizens, and for the YMCA.
And of course, the Dale Turner YMCA itself has a very nice indoor pool right there for the rest of the year when Yost Pool is not open. If you want to take swim lessons or anything else, it's a good choice. You know, right across the county line there. They're at about, I think, 192nd and Highway 99. So literally 10 blocks away from, you know, the King County shoreline, Snohomish County line.
And if I may add again, you can read about the YMCA Yost Pool partnership at myedmondsnews.com.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And speaking of Shoreline, Carter Subaru is actually in the parade here, and they are at 175th, I believe, and in Shoreline. And my husband and I, actually bought our very first family car from them many, many years ago. It was a Subaru, of course. And got great service from them. But that was, you know, again, that was a long time ago. But Carter Subaru, really glad to see them in the parade.
I assisted a friend buying a car through Carter Subaru, and the experience was just top-notch. They're wonderful. They're
great folks. And I have to tell you, Larry, this next one is one of my all-time favorites. When I was covering the parade a few years ago, I took photos. Of course, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I always have been.
You are?
I am.
I didn't know that.
I am. I love Star Wars.
Well, may the Force be with you, Teresa.
Thank you very much. And I think I always dreamed of being Princess Leia in another life. But this 501st...
And speaking of Princess Leia...
There she is. Wrong hair color for me, though. But the 501st Legion... This is actually a group of people who do actual replicas of these Star Wars characters, and they go and appear in parades across the United States, if my memory serves me correctly.
There's Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, the Stormtroopers, they're all there. And it's just a great organization. They're all volunteers. They basically that's what they do, is bring Star Wars around. And here is, oh, Cub
Pack 59, the
Scouts.
Cub Scouts.
I love Cub Scouts. Aren't they
I was
so
a Cub
cute?
Scout. It was
You
one of
were?
the greatest experiences of my youth. I loved being a Cub Scout.
And they do so much for the community. And of course, the kids who stay in Cub Scouts, they end up, going on to Eagle Scouts. Actually, I have to give a plug for one of our interns this summer, Brandon Jennings, who is operating one of the cameras. He actually is working on his Eagle Scout right now. He is gone all through the system, and so obviously.
And here's City Council member Adrienne Fraley-Manias.
There she is.
Hi, Adrienne.
There's Adrienne. There she is, riding in the parade. And one of the Edmonds City Council members, not running for re-election this year, but just out, showing her support for the community. And she is the one council member who represents Highway 99 in the area of Edmonds. And actually, we had a great story, Larry wrote it, about what is going on in the Highway 99 neighborhood and efforts to improve safety. And it's been something that council member Fraley-Manias has championed, working to develop that neighborhood and make sure it's safe.
Oh,
and
she's working very hard to bring that corner of Edmonds into the mainstream of Edmonds. They've been on the corner for a while. They're over on the southeast corner of the city.
Well, in Highway 99, it's where really the biggest revenue stream of Edmonds comes from in terms of tax dollars, but not always, because not as many people think of that as part of Edmonds. There's a lot of transient traffic there, and just needs some tender loving care, and Adrienne is really dedicated to doing that.
And there's some great restaurants over there. The Edmonds International District.
We have our own.
Yes. We have our very own ID here.
We do.
With food that rivals anything you can get downtown.
That's right. In fact,
T&T Seafood. Oh, go there.
T&T Seafood, and then the place that has the pho across the street.
In Buhan Plaza.
Buhan Plaza. That has been written up in all the Seattle Times. Restaurant critics have raved about that place. Okay, so moving on from International District food to another.
Mary's Towing.
That's a really nice looking tow truck, isn't it? As far as tow trucks go?
I've always liked the idea of a name like Mary's Towing. You think it's going to be Bert's Towing or something like that, but Mary just gives it a nice feel. You feel better about having your car towed away by Mary than you would by Bert or Bob or something like that.
Well, and you remember in the Seafair parade, the tow truck?
Oh, the Lincoln tow truck with the big toe?
That was the tow.
Yeah.
And would have been nice if they could have had an entry in the parade, because I thought that was the most clever of anything, really, the tow truck.
Whoa, there's some bubbles.
Look at
World-class
those
bubbles.
How does he do that? That's incredible. Really something else, bubbles. Oh, more Mary's. Mary's is well represented. So Mary's Towing, looks like they have.
And it says on the back there really is a Mary. Okay.
I wonder if that's Mary in the truck. Is that Mary? We didn't ask. But you were right. Mary's a wreck.
Mary's a wreck auto parts. Wow. They lived.
We buy vehicles running or not. Wow.
So she not only tows your car away, she parts it out.
So I guess if you need to call Mary's Towing, you ask for Mary.
I guess you do.
Yeah. Cascade Elite Gymnastics. Now
More gymnasts, oh boy.
I'm wondering if they're going to do some gymnastics routines. I think they might. Now this gymnastics club is located in Mount Lake Terrace, right there on the main drag on 56th Avenue West. For those of our, I do MLT News, which is one of our sister sites that covers the community of Mount Lake Terrace.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at these kids go.
These are some talented gymnasts here, Larry. And they have a beautiful facility up there in Mount Lake Terrace. If you go in there, if you've ever been in there, they have an incredible, huge space. And clearly they have been training their gymnasts well. Look at that.
Little one.
I tell you, that is, maybe we'll see some of these girls in the Olympics someday. You never know.
I'll bet they're all dreaming about that.
They probably are.
They probably go to bed at night and think, I'll get that gold.
Yep. It's very, very good. Now, it's an Edmonds,
Edmonds kind of beer.
Now, what could that be?
Well, we do have some breweries in town.
Salish
This is Salish Sea Brewery.
Okay, Salish. Thank you.
Sea Brewery.
I'm just going to let you be in charge of
Located
pronunciations.
right around on Dayton Street.
Yep.
Just around the corner, one of our newer businesses here in town.
Did you interview him as well?
I did indeed, and they're making craft beers right here in downtown Edmonds.
And it is an Edmonds kind of beer, as they say. And
in fact, I think when I was interviewing him, he was looking for a tagline, and I suggested an Edmonds kind of beer. I wonder if that gets me a free drink.
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, here's Oxygen.
Oh, Oxygen is great. For those who have never seen him, I don't know how you could ever miss him.
He is ripped. Look at those muscles. I'm sure they're all real.
I'm sure they're all real. So,
hi, Oxygen. How are you?
He posed for the camera. Big surprise. Oxygen, you know, we covered the Taste of Edmonds Taste Off, and Oxygen was one of our tasters one year. And the Taste Off is actually what they do at the beginning of the Taste of Edmonds before they award the best dishes. And they actually have judges from the community, and Oxygen was one of the tasters. And I could not stop laughing, you could imagine. He was posing more than he was eating, I'll just say that.
Event.
It's a fun event. And coming up next, we have the Edmonds School District Musicians. And I have to say, this is a group from Edmonds School District. This is musicians from all different schools, and they actually practice during the summer to keep their music skills up. And one of the things that they practice for is to be in the parade. And here they are. They're maybe going to play us a song. We'll see.
All wind instruments. I love it.
And you know, Larry, one of the things about the Edmonds School District is, I can say this because both my kids went through both, and as yours did too, they are very big on music education. They get all kinds of awards for their music education programs. They start the kids early. I think everybody starts with music in third grade or fourth grade, and they get music training from an early age. That's why you see kids who end up going to these prestigious festivals by the time they get into high school. It's why you see them here in the parade, because they are very, very much prioritizing music education in the Edmonds School District. And that's why these kids are
promoting
here.
it to the kids. The kids that come up through this program, the music gets into their blood.
That's
and
right.
they just want to do it, and they want to succeed at it. And they throw in their extra time, and they become so darn good.
They really do.
Again, I got to put in another plug for the Jazz Connection. You see it here every year with the Jazz Connection.
And that's on Memorial.
I am blown away every year.
Memorial Day weekend as well. Jazz Connection every year.
I don't think it's Memorial Day. It was recently.
I think
I'm not
it
sure
was
which
actually.
weekend
I think it is Memorial Day.
It
weekend.
is Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, and that is sponsored by one of our Rotary, the Edmonds
Daybreakers
Rotary Club.
Daybreakers, and scholarships are awarded. It's fantastic.
Now, I don't believe you're probably thinking about Halloween yet, are you?
Well, apparently now I am.
Because this is the haunted house at the Nile Country Club. I have not been to it yet, but it is, Nile Country Club is that big golf course there located next to Lake Ballinger as you get off of I-5 and come towards Edmonds. And they have a haunted house every year at Halloween. And it looks like we got some zombies.
And here we got the Shriners Clowns. Sort of transitioning here. We're moving from
I'm so
from
confused.
the zombies
are
to,
we like
to the,
zombies,
to the clowns.
clowns? What are we
Zombie
doing
clowns.
Here? Zombie clowns. Well, this is all part of the Nile Shrine, so that's why. That explains it. Yep. So we've got the Shriners Hospital Clowns. Again, this is all part of that Nile Country Club, Nile organization. They have a beautiful 18-hole golf course if anybody's out there who's a golfer. It's a lovely course. Beautiful view of Lake Ballinger and a nice country club. And again, they do a haunted house every year at Halloween. Oh, and now we have the ballerinas.
Pacific Chamber Ballet of Linwood offers classes for all ages and levels of advancement.
Pacific Chamber Ballet of Linwood. And I have to admit, I did not know that there was a
the
Pacific
music,
Chamber
the
Ballet.
drill teams, the dance, the ballet. I mean, you got to say Edmonds is an arts town. It really is.
It really is.
I love the arts here.
Yep. and people of all ages enjoy the arts and participate in the arts, and it's quite an incredible spot. And it looks like we've got a little advertisement here for the homestay program. Now, this is, I remember talking with somebody last year who was looking for parents, adults, to host these kids that come in from all these different countries. They actually come in the summertime from all these different countries and are looking for places to stay in Edmonds. So Edmonds Homestay Program, that's what that's all about. Now, Larry, I know you're not a sports guy, so I may have to take this next one.
Why don't you? What do we have coming up?
It looks like, well, I'm going to check here if I,
It looks like it's like a classic Volkswagen in the front.
Well, part of the issue we're having here is there's a lot of wind here and everything keeps blowing around, so I'm looking for my place again.
I could help hold them down if you like.
All right. So we have hold on.
We're at number 83
Finding my place.
here.
I've got something about dogs here. I see some golden retrievers. Almost there. See the golden retriever? Oh, service dogs. So this is a 61 VW Bug with golden retriever Bailey. And here's the cute phrase here. Remember those golden years with just you and your buddy. And there is the dog.
Aww.
So I don't know if he's a service dog or not, but he is sure getting a lot of attention over there. So here's the sports.
Okay. The Super Bowl champions. Well, I know that. Even I know that.
You would
It's
have
the
to be
Seahawks.
living under a rock to not know the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. But it looks like that's all decorated up. This is ServPro. That's quite a fascinating company. We actually did a story on them as well. They're located in Linwood. And ServPro actually comes in and cleans up after fire damage and water damage, and they make everything that was destroyed look like new again. It's pretty incredible what they do.
It's one of those places that you hope you never need their services,
Right.
but when you do, you do.
Yeah, they remove smoke from fire damage, water damage. It's pretty amazing, all the things that they take care of. And
I hear bagpipes. I hear bagpipes.
Oh, and that's another one of my favorites. But before that, we have, it looks like Edmonds Realty. That's another one of the longtime realty organizations in town. And Bayless or Ballas? I know Steve, he owns Waterfront Coffee.
I would not know.
I think it's Ballas. Steve, if I mispronounced
We'll go
your
with
last
Ballas.
name, I apologize. I just know him as Steve. But Steve and his wife, Vicky, own the Waterfront Coffee Company, and they also have a construction company called Bayless Homes, or Ballas Homes.
Waterfront Coffee is one of my favorite little venues in Edmonds.
It is a great spot.
It's
Yep.
a great low-key place to have a cup of coffee.
And there's Chase Bake. Chase Bake has got a nice branch here in Edmonds, and they're throwing out Frisbees, it looks like. Okay, and bagpipes. We're
Here we
just
go.
gonna let
Here
them
come the
play.
pipers.
Kenmore and District Pipe Band. They are quite
I'm
an
a major
amazing
fan
group.
of the bagpipes.
Love the bagpipes. And this is the Kenmore and District Pipe Band from Everett and performs in many local events.
Oh, hey, we have a drill team and drum squad coming up. Another one of these.
That makes it 3 drill teams,
Look at
right?
the uniforms on this one, Teresa.
Wow.
Look at those uniforms.
Oh, they are. This is
Aren't
the
they wonderful?
Northside Youth Program, drill team and drum squad. And they are known around the country for their complicated routines that involve high-energy marching, skilled arm movements. So we're going to watch them.
Now, why the masks? Does that...
That's a very good question.
You have to be good to coordinate.
That's probably it. It doesn't say here, but I'm guessing that maybe that's why, because
They don't need to see what
they
they're
don't
doing.
need to see what they're doing. That's pretty wild.
My gosh. Oh.
Incredible. Larry,
Very
just a
impressive
couple
routine.
of some trivia about this group. You must maintain a 3.0 GPA to be in this drill team, and it just was awarded the 2014 Puyallup Step Show Championship this year. So this is a group of talented young ladies. And then the drum corps behind them, all equally talented. And it's so wonderful,
Here comes our Sunset Bay Beach Camp.
Oh, that is an amazing camp.
This is wonderful, run by Ocean Annie Crawley.
That's right. And I know that we have covered her efforts in the past. She is an oceanographer who does a lot of environmental work. The beach camp itself actually is a summer-long camp that's a residential camp. They also are available for rental activities, but they have, if you have looking for a place for your kids to spend a week at camp, this is all water activities. It's a lot of fun. And Larry, I know you covered Annie because she was working with was it a Meadowdale High School student?
She was working with a Meadowdale High School student. Ocean Annie, how are ya?
On a cleanup, right? A water cleanup.
This was a senior project.
Right.
And the student was a scuba diver and wanted to do something underwater and worked with Ocean Annie, and they did an amazing cleanup down at the Edmonds Marina, pulled up all sorts of things, even, believe it or not, a bowling ball came out from underneath the boat moorage area.
Very nice.
And not to mention dozens of cell phones and keys and various other things that got lost in the water.
Now, if they came over to me and gave me an organic shaved ice, I would probably be up for it. Organic shaved ice.
I was wondering about that.
So that must mean all the juices that they use is organic?
I'm guessing, yeah, that must
amazing.
be it. But water, isn't water just organic anyway?
Well, it probably depends on what's in it.
Yeah, if you fluoridate or
we'll
not.
We'll have to do
a
little research on that. I don't have an entry on that. Another taekwondo here. Taekwondo. I'm just going to stop talking. Damn it if I just stop right now.
Taekwondo.
You can't take me anywhere. I tell you, these kids are so talented.
I always think of the work and dedication that goes into this. You see them do their performance and say, wow, don't they look great? But to get from where they were to where they're able to do this sort of thing and coordinate it like this doesn't come easy. This takes a lot of work.
And I don't think people realize it's just like any other sport, that people have. Whether they have a school sport, you go and you practice and you work out and you train. It's no different. And I believe that is the last entry. We are actually
Are we done? We're down to the golf carts?
So I want to say, now that we are at the end, we have some reminders. Shall we talk about some reminders that we have?
Let's talk about some reminders,
okay,
Teresa.
Well,
I think this is a wonderful thing to do.
I absolutely think so.
I agree.
This is not the end of the parade. This is really just the beginning of the day. Because we have, after this, at 2:30 p.m., the water ball competition. We talked about that earlier. That is when the firefighters get their hoses out and shoot water at a
And we
ball.
still have the 1968 water ball photo up if
Scott wants to go back to the water ball photo. So that's happening at 2:30. At 7:30, if you go to Civic Field, you will be able to take advantage of entertainment that is going on for a couple hours. They also have some food booths there if you want to get some food. Spread your blanket out on the grass, listen to some music, watch some entertainment, and get ready for the fireworks
tonight.
Yeah.
Now, do you know who the musical entertainment is going to be?
I am not sure who the
musical
musical
entertainment. Last couple of years, it was a band called The Side Project, which is excellent.
I'm not sure if they're back again.
I hope they're coming back, but if they're not, I'm sure whoever's taking their place is going to be wonderful.
But just know, folks, that you do need to get there relatively early. It does fill up really quickly. People do lay their blankets out, take up quite a bit of space.
And just one hint, don't go up in the stands or you miss the aerial part of the show.
Right.
The roof from the stands will
I am guessing that
we are.
I am guessing that we're probably looking at a photo of the water ball. because we had somebody
Are you
standing in
referring
front
to
of our
the gentleman
camera,
in
yes,
front?
who would block the view for quite some time. So we're
back, everybody.
If you saw the view of a plaid shirt for a while, that was why. So we again get there early if you want to watch the fireworks. The entertainment starts at 7:30, but the doors open I think a little bit before that. You have a chance to spread your blanket out, bring a picnic, get some food at the venue. The fireworks start at about 10 o'clock. That's when it gets dark. Beautiful show. The fireworks have been set up over there on Civic Field, and that is at
The fireworks will actually begin around 10.
10. And,
yeah,
and
when
Civic
it gets dark.
Field is between 5th and 6th on Bell-ish. Is that right?
Yeah.
Around in there. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the big stadium there.
Where the stands are.
Yeah. Where the Taste of Edmonds usually is.
Actually, I think between 6th and 7th, Teresa.
Okay. So I want to I think we're about ready to wrap up, but I just want to give a few shout outs here. Again, thank you again to the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce for
Indeed.
sponsoring
Do a great job.
this live stream. You can watch it archived again on myedmondsnewstv.com. Thanks to the Hazel Miller Foundation for sponsoring the whole thing.
Thank you, Linwood Honda. It is different. You say experience the difference. Well, I have, and it is. Thanks, guys.
And Larry has a car, so he knows.
I got a car to prove it.
Okay. And again, I want to say thanks to our folks. Thanks to Larry for coming on to do this show with us. Thanks to all of our technical folks who helped us behind the scenes. I'm going to remember the names at some point. Chuck Woodbury, who has been kind of running around here helping with whatever we can. Scott Taylor, who has been working all the magic on the setting up all of the equipment and basically the director of this whole program. We have our two camera people, Caitlin Plummer, who is interning with us this summer, who graduated Meadowdale High School and now at USC. Brandon Jennings on camera, who is an intern from Mount Lake Terrace High School. I think that's all we have. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Eric Brotman on camera, our high camera up high. He really helped us out there. And am I forgetting anybody that you can think of?
I think we have it all.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for bearing with us on this, our first inaugural broadcast, and all of the things that we were figuring out as we went along.
And Teresa, thank you very much. This was wonderful.
It was a lot of fun.
It was
Thank
great.
you, Larry. Okay, we're signing off for now. Have a great, safe 4th of July, everybody, and we hope to see you here next year.
See you here next year. We're done.